So my plan today is I'm going to be making lasagna. I'm going to be making a larger one and then an individual, probably 2-serving one. If I have leftovers, then I can make a couple more smaller ones, but this way this can be like tonight's supper and then lunch tomorrow and then maybe a couple of suppers during the week. And this one will be ready for those busy days at the time we don't have a whole lot of time. I'm also going to be trying these noodles that I've never tried before. So we'll see how those turn out. So I've got the hamburger. I'm going to make a roux sauce because I don't have cottage cheese or regatta cheese. I'm also going to grate up some mozzarella cheese and some marble cheese. But yeah, the roux I'm going to make, and I'm going to alternate it between my meat layers. But it's going to be a cheesy roux. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I did was cook up my hamburger. I'm going to be adding onions and mushrooms to this as well. So I've added the onions and the mushrooms. I'm just waiting for the onions to become tender. Okay, so again, I started my roux. Basically, it's a couple tablespoons of margarine or butter, depending on what you have on hand and what you prefer. A couple tablespoons of flour. You mix those together. Then you add your milk, and you stir it to break it down, because it goes into clumps when you mix the butter and the sugar together. It's melted butter, by the way. And then, as it thickens up, you can add more milk, or you can add a little bit of water. Add your spices. In my case, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, and I'm going to add the cheese. And this will give me my cheese mix for my alternating layers of meat and cheese. Turn that off for the moment. And I'm just going to continue with the roux for a little while. Okay, as you can tell, it's thickened up. So now I'm just going to add some cheese to it. And then just mix that in and let that melt. And then that will be ready to go. I've added, because I have so much meat, and the pan's actually a lot deeper than it is. I got this pan for Christmas. I actually really do enjoy it. I've added basically, I'm going to say almost a can and a half of sauce to it. Just bring it over here. I always put a little bit on the bottom of my beginners. I broke this one in half because, where'd the other half go? Must have fallen back in the box. I'll have to find it. And these ones actually fit just perfectly for the size of this pot, or this bowl. Dish, that's the word I was looking for. I have to find the other piece to put into here, but next is going to be a layer of meat, and then more noodles, and then the roux sauce, and then more noodles, and then meat sauce, and then more noodles. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done before I put it in the oven. There's my little one all ready to go. Switch back over to here. This is my bigger one. I actually have a bigger container than this, but There's only 2 of us in this house, so this is going to last us days and days and days. Now you can tell where I have the sauce and the meat and the roux and the meat and the roux, and then I got meat again up here, and then I just got a little bit of sauce and the cheese, and in between each layer there is the noodles. So now I just got to cook them. And I'll let you see what it looks like when it's all done. I'm scared that the big one is actually going to bubble over, so I'm going to put it on a cookie sheet to catch anything that might spill over. Less mess in the oven, easier to clean up afterwards. Okay, ignore the furnace in the background. I cooked it for 350 for 20 minutes. And it looks really good. But this is why I put the pan underneath it, because, well, it did go over a little bit. And when that one's cool, I'll just put a cover on it and put it in a bag and take all the air out and put it in the freezer for another day. But this will be the next few days. Well, it'll be tonight's supper, tomorrow's lunch, and probably another, in a day or two, another lunch or supper. But yeah, the new noodles seem to cook really well, and it only took 20 minutes, so I was impressed. I'm used to having to cook this for over an hour. So, serve it with a salad, garlic bread, or whatever you choose. Enjoy!